You know, all I gotta say, it's about time I got behind the wheel of one of these Dodge Challenger SRT8s. 425 horsepower under the hood, doesn't get much better. But you know us, we can't leave anything alone. We got a little bit of exhaust work going on, a little bit of tires, and Bryan's 33 hot rod coming at you. How do you like to ride, man?
I used to get to do the driving around here. I mean, come on.
Doesn't it feel good to share?
You're the smart guy, I'm the driver, get it straight.
I'm the driver, you're the muscle. All right, this is our 6.1 liter, 420, there he goes. He's hopping in it already. 425 horsepower. We've got Brembo brakes, Alco Ford steel wheels,
you hear that?
Bilsteins.
You can't, can you?
This is all performance except for that.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound good. You know, we gotta change the exhaust out. Number one.
Yeah, it's got a factory sound, and you guys know we're not factory guys. Let's get this thing in, let it cool off, change some exhaust.
Okay, now we're gonna pull one side of this, drop it out. And there's two sides to this exhaust system. So we'll drop that one. Now we're moving to the other. You wanna hand me a little lube?
Yep.
A little tip for you. Take a little lube, shoot it up onto the rubber grommets. You know, make it easier for you to pull it out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and take these clamps off up here. It's a pretty simple system, so this is gonna be a pretty easy job. Now, these just clamp onto these dual exhaust pipes. We're gonna run right down through here. We got a little X pipe. It's gonna blend our exhaust pulses together. Then we got this real large volume muffler. Now, volume is great for bringing the sound down. You take these high velocity pulses, you let them expand, they kind of weaken an energy level, things get quieter. But
which
they
is
don't
no
flow
good.
so well, yeah.
That's not good. Why have 475 horse if you can't hear it?
Why? You want everyone to know what it is you just bought and how much fun you're having with it.
Exactly.
So let's see if we can't wiggle this guy.
Okay.
Is yours ready to drop down?
I think so. Kind of start lowering. There we go.
There we go. Now we're gonna have to wiggle it forward or backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, there she goes.
All right. Got it?
All right. Oh, feel the weight of that thing.
Oh my gosh.
So you can
Look how
see
huge that thing is.
all this muffler here, like we said, is great
That's a good 40 pounds.
for bringing the sound down, but it's got a little bit of weight to it. And
Little bit.
what we're gonna do, let's get this guy over.
Okay.
We're gonna replace this with larger pipe. Now, larger pipe's obviously gonna flow more. You know, they've got the same crossover with the tubes, and now these are nice and straight, flow real nice.
Now the big difference here, you can see this is 2.5 and we're going to 3.
Yeah, 2 3/4, but it necks down to 2.5. You can see it kind of choked. Now here's their muffler replacements. So we've got 4 mufflers, 409 stainless inner, which is a nice high-grade stainless for all that thermals. And you can see in there, nice free flow design. Really gonna let the air move through here quickly.
Yep. These are 16 gauge steel, good and thick, aluminized to keep the rust out. And so I think at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, we're about ready to put the new heartthrob system in.
Yeah, let's heave this old one out of the way and we'll start to lace the new one up in there. All right, we're gonna keep everything nice and loose. All these clamps just free hanging, but we're gonna tighten them up a little bit just to hold this together so we can move all the pipes, get them aligned the way we want to, and we can come back later and tighten it down.
Okay, now last one we've got, this is the factory tip, ball flange on the end, so you get a lot of adjustment. Yeah, I'm good. Go for it. Okay. Now just kind of rotate that in. Looks like the other side. Whammo. We're done.
Yeah, and what's nice, we got to use the old tips, save a few bucks, and they look nice. And we got to go the economical route with this system, but when you're ready to step it up, ooh, 304 stainless steel.
16 gauge also, that's a really nice clean system, and that's gonna stay perfect.
Now these guys are making some big power numbers on the dyno so far. You know, their dyno's reading 40 plus horsepower, almost 48 foot-pounds.
Yeah, so we're gonna get this thing down, get it outside, and we're gonna test it with the foot.
That's right.
Test it with the ears. Let me know how it sounds as I'm from behind.
Hey, it's a team effort here. Hey, we're gonna take this thing for a test drive. I gotta go catch up with Bryan. We'll be right back with some 33 frame-up roadster action. Wait.
I have an older car and want to restore the engine performance without investing a lot of money. There are a lot of fuel additives on the market. What's the best for my car? Sludge and buildup significantly reduce engine performance, but one-step 3M Max Strength Fuel System Cleaner reduces combustion chamber, intake valve, and port fuel injector deposits. It restores like-new performance in high-mileage vehicles, significantly improves fuel economy, power, acceleration, and drivability while reducing emissions and protecting against rust and corrosion in the fuel system. But before you put anything in your tank, make sure it comes from a trusted brand name and is tested for reliability and effectiveness. This tip is brought to you by 3M Car Care, performance-driven solutions.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by iBrakeParts.com. For all of your braking needs, look to iBrakeParts.com, your online stopping destination.
Hey, welcome back. Now, we just got done test driving our little Challenger, and that was a blast. But a few more test drives, we might need a new set of tires pretty quick. Now, we could go stock, same size tires, or we could try to squeeze in a little bit more. Well, how do I go about my measurements? Because, you know, a little bit more, I might start rubbing on things. So let's go through some of the numbers so you could go and calculate when you're going to fit your tire in, you know, some of those dimensions. They're a little bit confusing. Some of the numbers are in English, some are in metric. So let's start with just pure size. You know, we look over here, we've got a 245, 45, 20. Well, we know the 20 is a 20-inch rim, 18s, 19s, 20s are getting bigger, but the first number is metric. It's in millimeters, 245 millimeters. That's this width right here. What's the 45? Well, it's neither. It's a percentage. So you got 245 here. 45% of that is this thickness right there. So if I've got a 245, 45, a 255, 45, this section's going to be X percent taller than that one. So for the same, you know, 45 rating here, it doesn't give me the same section. It's going to be a percentage of the width. So I can do a quick math. I go 45% of 245 times 2, because I got 2 obviously. I throw the wheel right in the middle. That's 20 inches. This one's about 28.7. This one's 29 inches in diameter. Now you got ratings. Lots of different ratings for different uses of tire. Check out this one. You got a speed rating and you got a load index. So load index, pretty much the weight and load you're going to put on that corner, so that tire. So obviously a 99. It's going to be a little less than a 105, and you can look up charts, see if you're in spec. And you also have speed. So this is a W rating, this is a Y rating. Now, it's kind of funny. It used to be Z rating was like all you needed. It was 149 mile an hour plus. But you got guys in Europe over in the Autobahn, those guys are just flying. So 149 just wasn't enough. So we had Z at the top. Well, somehow we went to W and Y, which are faster. But that's how it works. So this W, 168 miles an hour. This Y, 186. So these old Falcon tires right here pretty much do anything you need to do anywhere you need to do it. Now you can see, you know, these for our Challenger, low profile, that's the modern look. But, you know, it's all about what you want to look on your car. And if we sneak over here to Bryans, this is the look he is going for. I think you could understand why.
Hey, it's the like I look, or the look I like. You know what I'm saying. All right, so we're back on the 33 Ford project. Now, when you saw this before, it was just a unijig frame. We just had a front end. We got the Tiger quick change rear end, and we had nothing in between. So what we designed is our own custom frame rails. We've water jet those cut out. We've got them inside. Now we've got kind of a base. We've got a car, 33 Ford two-door sedan, been sitting since 1956. So unfortunately, it's just a shell. Now what we need to do, what I'm kind of patterning out here, is starting to make kind of a cage that's going to make this thing nice and strong. Unfortunately, I can't cut the top and have the cage inside of it, because if I drop the top, the cage is too tall. So we're going to kind of finish off the bottom. It'll all be braced. First thing we need to do is do this hoop. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut that up, we'll get a pattern going, and then at that point, we'll be able to get some tubes in here and then start chopping the top. Got it.
Wow, I haven't seen you work that hard in a really long time.
Hey man, you know, I move it fast. There you go, appreciate that.
All right, wow.
Now we got our pattern. This is going to simulate our hoop. It's going to be up in the front. And we'll take 1.5 DOM tubing, going to come around. We'll be able to weld it here. And this will really keep that front from going back and forth. Then what we'll end up doing is making a tube that comes back, connects this cage, and really keep that front end locked in solid.
Okay, so you want me to run right along this edge then? And then,
Yep.
what, this is your top, so we'll come up with the arc.
Yeah.
Maybe a little flat.
Yep.
Come back on the other side.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to using our new bender, maybe the new notcher. So I can take this
Yes.
and I can go play.
I'm going to get on the chop.
All right, stick around. Hey, welcome back. Now, Bryan traced out the front radiator roll hoop. You know, this is what it's gonna fit in. So here's the sides of the front and the top where the hood's gonna come down. But before I start bending and put some structure in, I can do a little layout. So I just kind of swept in. This is the outer diameter of the tube. I got a 5-inch radius die. So that's my center line. So this is actually the center line of my tube here. I've added 3/4 because it's a 1.5 diameter tubing. So that gives me the outside. Now if I'm smart, I can get my tangent line and my tangent line to my second bend. So I can bend my first one. Now I know where to measure over to start my second bend. Piece of cake. Now if I'm smarter, I can measure my angle. So tangent point to tangent point. This is the arc that I'm going to bend. I can measure that about 82, 83 degrees. I can lock it right in here in this machine and sweep my arc pretty much first time. I may want to back off just a couple degrees, check it. You know, I can check it to the car. I can bring my template over and get it rolling. Now this is the Cadillac of benders. This is from Bailey Industrial. This thing is fully hydraulic, but what's cool is I can plug it into any 110, so I can push it around anywhere, but it'll be in monster pipes, you know, full 180 sweeps, and the nice part is it's pretty much hands-free. I got a little foot pedal. I can go forward and backwards. I got my degree wheel here. I can see how many degrees I've swept. Once I lock my tube in, I flick it on, I'm ready to go. So I got my angle about 82, 83 degrees. I lock my pipe in. I got it just snug enough. I've marked, you know, the start of my bend, and I'm ready to kick this guy around. I take a little angle measurement, and I'm ready to sweep it. Oh, that's magic. And once I sweep it around, I kick it back, and I sweep some more. So pretty much I can just stand here all day and watch my angle, and I've got great control so I can kind of bump it right up to the number. So go right up to about 81, 82. I can get my pattern and then kind of see how I'm doing. And it's looking pretty close, but I think I might bump it a little bit more. Now you're always going to get spring back. So let's say you go up to 82. Once you let off the pressure, it'll spring back a little bit less than that. So I'm going to keep working it. I might actually back it off, take it out, set it against my pattern, tweak it to fit. I'm ready to go. Then I can flip it over, bend the other side, cut it, install it.
This tip is brought to you by AutoGeek.net. We are car care.
Remember when your car was brand new, how beautiful the paint looked? Now, when you pull the car out in the sun and you look at the paint, it's filled full of swirls. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the Cyclo dual head orbital polisher to remove swirls out of a clear coat finish. The paint on this car is completely filled with swirls. They're so easy to find using the swirl finder light. I'm going to place some tape right down here in a straight line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on one half and leave the other side original. I'll show you how easy it is to use the Cyclo to remove swirls out of a clear coat finish. Modern clear coats are much harder than traditional single stage paints. What that means to you and me when we go out in our garage is it's more difficult for us to remove the swirls by hand. That's why tools like this Cyclo dual head orbital polisher have become so popular when it comes to removing scratches because they work faster and more effectively as far as removing the swirls and scratches out of a clear coat finish. The Cyclo polisher has dual counter-rotating heads with a Velcro interface which enables you to swap out foam pads depending on what you want to do. In this case, we want to remove swirls. So I've already placed 2 foam cutting pads on here, and I'm going to use these with the Wolfgang Total Swirl Remover to remove the swirls out of the clear coat finish on this car. What you want to do now is take and put some product on the face of the pad. And you can make an X pattern or a circle, and then before turning it on, place the pad in contact with the paint. And then here's a little tip. Most people would run this tool in a back and forth motion just like this, very perpendicular. And what you actually want to do is just cant it or tilt it just a little bit and then run it back and forth, making overlapping passes. Let's check out the results. Over here, we have a completely swirled out finish. As I move the light over here, it goes completely swirl free. This looks better than a brand new car. For more information on this, and for more detailing tips and techniques, check out autogeek.net and click on Show Car Garage.
All right, welcome to the cool parts room. First thing we got up is a harmonic balancer locking fastener kit from Stage 8 Locking Fasteners.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put together some really awesome parts under your hood. Last thing you want is for those parts to come back apart again. You know, in a harmonic damper, that's a big mass. It's got a lot of vibration, a lot of crank torsionals. Let that thing go.
It runs all your pulleys. I mean, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it runs all your
belts. I mean,
runs all your belts. You know, so what do? You put a locking mechanical fastener on it. You know, a great way to start with Stage 8 is a fastener itself. So they've got a high quality grade A premium material. You know, they roll the threads in there so they're extra strong. And then they come up with these really clever ways of mechanically locking them together, and it'll never come back apart again.
Yeah, and you can get, nice thing about those too, you can get your torque spec right on, lock it down, then when you put your clip in your ring, and they have all different types of kits, complete kits, no matter what you've got to do. So if you go to their website, check out for your application, they're all made in USA, and it's a perfect way to go to make sure to keep your fasteners home.
Yeah, so grade 8, Stage 8 locking fasteners.
All right, next thing we got up is this aluminum grill from LMC Truck. Now this fits 78, 79 F-Series Broncos and pickups.
Yeah, now I love these styles of trucks, but the original grills didn't have that great of a finish on them. Now the ones from LMC Truck, it's an aluminum grill, but it's got a chrome anodized, you know, high polished, brilliant sort of finish on them. They look great, and then obviously they've got a ton of choices for them too.
You can also get a chrome steel if that's the way you want to go instead. Go to their website, they've got all kinds of free catalogs, they got all different kinds of models and years.
Everything you can think of for these trucks.
All kinds of good stuff in that catalog. All right, next thing we got up is from Strut Masters. Now this is for the 95 to 02 Range Rover.
Yeah, now these are starting to get some miles on them. You know, and anytime you put miles and age on any of these components, especially these rubber components, they start to break down. You go to the dealer, you try to get all that stuff replaced, all these airbags. It's expensive.
Yep, and these are easy to put in. They come with instruction sheets, they've got a lifetime warranty, very simple. And they've also got these for 03 to 06 Range Rovers, which also have the air suspension. They have their issues as well. Definitely the way to go instead of going back with that expensive air system.
Yeah, no, these are engineered to basically replace what it is that came from your factory. So lifetime warranty, get your set, they'll last for a long time.
Strut Masters, that's a good piece. All right, next thing we got up is from Custom Auto Sound. This is the Secret Audio SST.
I love this little unit because it's got 200 watts, you know, of amplifier and tuner. You can tuck just about anywhere. But then you got this cool little LCD display. You know, it's already set up to play your artists and song titles. You can hide this little guy just about anywhere. And, you know, you got yourself a little remote, so boop, 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 you can make all the magic happen.
Yep. You can do, like you said, USB, all your different functions, and any kind of input that you like. Flash drive, iPod, no matter what. Very simple to put in. And it's a good piece from Custom Auto Sound. Great way to keep that classic interior looking classic.
Yeah, it's the Secret Audio SST, a really cool unit.
All right, we're out of time. Back to work.
Oh, here we go.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speedtv.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com.
Hey, welcome back. Now we got our top radiator tube in, starting to look pretty good. We got the right lean, it's tacked in, and we got our first, you know, horizontal top bar in. So we can put the side panel on, start to see how it looks.
Yeah, it's really going to solidify the front end and keep that front end from moving around. Now we did our tubes. We got this really awesome Bailey Industrial tube and pipe notcher. This thing is so beautiful. You put your tube in, and look at this. Easy movement of your angles, which is really killer. Put your thing in. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on. Now it looks like it will only do 1-inch tube due to the 1-inch end mill, but it'll actually do 1 inch all the way up to 3 inch. Now don't blink, because this will not take long. And anybody that's done this manually knows that this is a beautiful thing. Now look at that, real time, that's a notch, completed to spec, and you just can't imagine how much time that saves you in your life when you're doing roll cages and frames and things like that. This thing is amazing, made in USA, and all you have to do, if you look over on the side, you loosen it, turn a little dial, and it'll take you from 1 inch to 3 inch. Really killer tool.
What's nice is it cuts so fast, but all the adjustments let you set it up real quick. Now, there's a lot of ways to do, tube cutting. You can do it with a grinder. You draw your fish mouth on there, you grind it out, throw a lot of material everywhere. You can use a hole saw. You can use it on a fixture type with a hand drill. Works pretty good, but after using that one, it feels a little archaic.
Yeah.
Just make sure your drill speed's slow, your jig's kind of set up as stiff as you can get it, and a little bit of patience.
All right,
Yeah,
that was fun.
that's what I love about hole saws. You can see, you already have that tube cut by now, so I'm gonna go ahead and give up because
I think
we
we
got
made
the
our
bad
point.
boy over here, yeah.
All right, we're gonna get that tube in, the last one, and we'll move on. Hey, Byrd, we got her tacked in there, huh?
Starting to look like a real car, not just a
Right.
little flimsy, shell of a thing. So it's amazing what a good set of tools will let you get done in a short amount of time. Now that's a really nice looking cope on this tube. Now, little hint, you're always gonna get a thinner edge as this cuts around this outside. Knock that down so you get full wall thickness when you make your weld. Now this is what a nice cope looks like when it's butted together.
Now, that baby's looking hot. Now next time, we're actually gonna cut the top on this sucker.
Oh, yeah.
Lower it down about 2 inches, lean the posts. Oh, so stay tuned. That's gonna be a really cool one on our next show. So
See you guys next week.
we're out of time. Later.